Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Williams C# and Engineering Walkthroughs. My name is Wills, and I have yet another workshop for us today. Yes, so let's kind of just dive into things. This is a continuation of the project, the Vanguard engine that I've been coding over the last few days. So yeah, I'm just gonna really just taper off from the previous episode. In the last episode, what was I even working on? I was working on my draw flow, I think. Because today I was spending a lot of time off screen working on the draw logic flow. I can't exactly remember what I did on the last stream, actually, exactly. I do have my notes here, but I didn't actually make any tasks for yesterday. I noticed on my notes that there's on the 20th of June, yesterday, I didn't take notes of the tasks I wanted to do, unfortunately. But that's fine. It's a new day, so I added one today that I want to implement simple controls for a player agent. And I remember now I was trying to build a simple scene whilst making my draw logic general purpose. I just recall now. Let's check my OBS quickly, and I managed to achieve what I set out to do off screen. So I'm going to show you the results. The assets are placeholder. My scene is going to look rough, but again, it's just the principle that kind of makes sense, right? So let me pull out my UWP session, and as you can see, now as I kind of alluded to yesterday with the scene that I showed you guys, today is kind of the same situation, that it looks simple, and it is. I've got some kind of background in the background of the scene, and there's like my MC character, and she's obviously quite big, her dimensions, in front of this background. What does this mean? What does this mean? There are two important things to take into account: what's going on and how what's going on is going on this scene. And I'm quite interested in how what's going on is going on in the scene, because with the how I'm generating this very simple scene, I'm animating this character, Valkyrie, as I've dubbed her, at a particular frame rate. She's moving a bit fast, actually. I'm going to slow down her frame rate. I'm going to slow it down because it's quite quick. But she's animating on her own timing, and she's animating upon her own constraints for her idle animation. And so is the background, respectively animating within its own parameters, speed, and constraints. And what's cool about this is, as I alluded to yesterday, the draw logic is pretty much general purpose at this point. So having a general purpose draw flow means that for Vanguard Engine, I can add scene components from project level. I can add resources such as different assets. Maybe I want to add a new animation. For Valkyrie, I want to tweak the background. I want to build a new level. I can do all that at project scope. And the draw logic is all in the library scope. And we shouldn't have to interfere with the library's core logic when we want to build at project level. That's the whole idea. So yesterday I realized that I was hard coding a few parameters. I realized that, if I wanted to add a new background, say, as I tried to do, if you look at the last episode 5 from yesterday, I tried to add this AI generated picture, which is, I'm quite impressed with the AI thing. I used Copilot, so AI search, Microsoft's AI search, to generate an image just really quick, because I wasn't going to draw out, I wasn't going to draw out a background, so I just used AI, as a lot of us do. I'm going to be making some more art assets on this stream probably, because I was quite impressed with the pixel art that came out, and I do want to use some pixel art to kind of placeholder generate, or better said, I want to generate my scene like at a placeholder level kind of thing, just to give me an idea of where my game can go. I have a lot of 2D fighting game experience, so I'm kind of inclined to make like a side-scrolling fighting game with RPG elements, rather than an RPG with fighting game elements, if that makes sense, because I might still retain the top-down view, but for me, I know some of the nuances of fighting games. That's why I want to kind of lean into that. But it's still going to be an RPG, guys. I'm still going to keep it that way. There are going to be RPG elements for this game. It's just that from like a 2D arcade fighting perspective, I kind of know, like, I have a better understanding eclectically of what people expect out of a 2D fighting game. So it's gonna kind of, the game I want to build, nuances, RPG, elements, RPG elements, in sort of like a 2D fighting game skin, if that kind of makes sense. So let's go straight to the draw log. Let's go straight to the code here. Yeah, so if you compare the code from yesterday, I need to update my GitHub. I need to just start backing up things every night. Also, I have a GitHub repo for this, but I haven't updated it yet since like a couple days ago. Anyway, what's going on here is that, and again, this could be improved by a long shot, but for now, it is doing what I need it to do. I have a few indexes here, a few counts, and I have 2 for loops. And within these 2 for loops, I'm basically telling my program, okay, get my Z buffer and draw the contents of my Z buffer. And in my Z buffer, what I put in are the 2, let me see if I can get it up on screen, my 2 assets. So from yesterday, the AI generated like Legend of Zelda style scene is here. I'm loading this in the background. Drink some water. And I'm also loading off my Valkyrie folder, respectively, her animations. So the general purpose sort of system of my draw flow has to know, from an outside-in perspective, that okay, my program, my level wants 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames of idle animation for Valkyrie to be loaded on the scene, and also 1 frame of background information for the background, and they have to be in order. So that's what these for loops are kind of dictating. I'm using a system whereby there are like counts flying around, there are indexes flying around that keep track of the order, and the indexes keep track of what assets are being generated. I'm gonna bring your attention, guys, to my main page, because I actually at project scope, at model scope, so the animated resources scope, I had to change some stuff. This is where I got stuck yesterday, and it took a little bit of effort, a bit of input for me to solve this today. Load animated resources, where am I? So what was going on here? This basically takes what this function does. Let me just scroll up a little bit. Load animated resources does. Just kind of I'm reiterating from the last couple sessions. Load animated resources takes these PNG files and turns them into canvas bitmaps. The issue is that I was hard coding some of the indicators, the indexes were basically hard coded. And what that meant is that, yeah, sure, I was animating Valkyrie correctly, but what happens when I want to extend the roster? What happens if I want to add a background? Well, my hard coded magic numbers don't really help anymore, right? So I needed a robust way to handle extension of characters and assets, my PNG files and stuff, from an outside perspective. So what did I have to do? I had to introduce a couple or so new indexes, and some variables that kind of like update on the fly. So what did I introduce here? I'm not even sure if I'm looking at the right place. Yeah, so this was hard coded. I think I made a note of it somewhere. I was using this index, asset 0 index count, which was set to 0 by default, and I set it to like 6 because there's 6 frames of animation for Valkyrie. But now it's actually a list of values which you populate at resource loading time. So if I go to the main page, here's some tea. If I go to the main page, let's see where we are. Build scenes before this, down here. So I populate my folder paths, as you can see, backgrounds and Valkyrie, respective to my assets. And this is where I have to be a little bit attentive, because what it is the order in which you load the assets matters. So if I know the background has to be at the back, and obviously I can configure my Z buffer to deal with this, but if I just if I take consideration of the order of which I'm loading my assets, then I don't need to work so much at ZBuffer scope, right? So I made sure my background comes in first. I made sure I'm passing Valkyrie's folder next, or Valkyrie's animation set next. So what this does, this one indicates there's one frame of animation for the background set. This 6 indicates there's 6 frames of animation for Valkyrie's animation set. Obviously, with more complex scenes, you're going to have a lot of different components that you're loading in, but that's just the nature of games in general. There's a lot happening in the back end, right? It's trying to mitigate the pain points as much as possible. What else did I do off screen? Similarly, populate asset 0. So this one, I made a comment here. So background has one animation set to load. So for each asset type, when I say type, I use the term type loosely. So the background is one type, Valkyrie is one type, and there is only one set of animations for both. So here, Valkyrie has 6 frames of animation, but she has one set. So I have 6 frames for one set. I have 1 frame of background for one set. I have to clarify these constraints so that my draw logic can really take my draw logic, we need to take I need to take responsibility for the way that I structure the generality of my draw logic, right? Such that from an outside scope, worlds can be built, 2D worlds can be built. So the higher the resolution of the constraints, the better, right? That's why we have to do more of the work at the resource loading scope, but it's good because it just means that I don't have to interfere with the library at project development scope. Yeah, cool. So that's what I did. So if you look yesterday, I was struggling a bit towards the end of the video. I couldn't get a scene up. This is what I had to do. I had to create a few parameters, make sure they're stored as lists, so I can dynamically increment through my list via loops. And then at my draw logic scope, I basically just call those assets at the right order at the right time. I might need to take a break soon, actually. I'll see, but it's early for a break. I'll see what happens because I'm at home. Let's see how it goes. I'll be right back, guys, and take a quick break. Okay guys, I'm really sorry for that interlude there. There was stuff I had to attend to just off screen. I hope my level's okay. I'm really sorry, that took like 5-10 minutes, so I do apologize. I had to attend to something just off screen. Everything's all cool now, so yeah, let's continue with the stream. Goodness me, how are you all doing? Okay, so talking about the draw logic. Today, so this is all like kind of catching up from yesterday. What I want to focus on today is kind of like implementing controls. That's gonna probably take up the majority of the time, but it shouldn't be quite difficult to do. We're gonna use the CoreWindow API, and I'm gonna shift the responsibility of the control logic to project scope for now, and then we're gonna start making some art assets and moving them around the screen. And the reasoning behind having the project scope take care of controls. Now, controls isn't too hard to implement. And for more customability, what am I trying to say? Customability? To make the controls more robust, or to add robustness to the controls, it's better that the project scope takes care of that, because you can have different RPGs. I mean, the core keyboard inputs again is so simple. It might as well just be implemented at the project scope. So we're going to do that, and if I like the functionality enough, I will add the support for hooking to the CoreWindow API via the library. But for now, we're just going to do a project scope for now because it's just such an easy thing to do. And I want to start moving assets around the screen so I can kind of make my project more like a game, and then we can really start to see how creative we can get with scenes. And you're going to use AI search for the assets, so it's going to be kind of fun to see what comes up. Probably going to do like a top-down style. I really do like that top-down style, but like with side-scrolling fighting game mechanics, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like Legend of Zelda meets Smash Brothers, that kind of thing. Alright, sweet. So if we're adding controls, let's get straight to it. So if I'm adding controls, well, it's now shifting our mentality towards the physics of the game, right? The physics of the game, how the world interacts with itself. Again, I can prototype this on project scope, but this is a pain point making physics work. So I would like to shift some responsibility to the library. It's a interesting question. There's no right or wrong. It's just how much responsibility is the library gonna take for the game world? That's the thing. Interesting to think. Okay, so if we're dealing with controls, let's go to the main XAML. I probably can't recite the syntax I need off the top of my head, so I'm going to use my notes. Excellent. And let me see. Let me just make sure everything's fine. Okay, sweetness. Excellent. So let me see. On my main page, which main page is this? I should have some syntax for my CoreWindow stuff. I'm not sure if it's here. Is this Parallax Engine? It should be here on the main page. Where's that CoreWindow function? I saw the key down, but I don't know if that's the one I need. Yeah, I think it is. So I'll take this signature. Key down parse. I need to attach this to my window. But then I could probably, oh yeah, that's it. I can load it manually. I'll load my CoreWindow programmatically. I was looking for this line, and I put this in the constructor, and I'll hook this CoreWindow key down event for the keyboard inputs to my method. Okay. We'll use the constructor for this. Actually, no. Yes and no. We'll use it for when we initialize our scene. Better yet still, maybe when we're setting our resources, because it's almost like an initialization. So we do all of the resource stuff and then I will add my CoreWindow bit here. Now obviously this method hasn't been created yet, so key down parse. Key down parse. I guess that's a decent enough thing, key down parse. Private void, key down parse. I have to get the correct signature for my overloads. I can't remember what the signature is. Where's my notepad? The signature, where is it? So I've got my CoreWindow and my key event argument. So every time we click on the keyboard, this method should fire up. Yeah, that should be it. I'll make a little comment. So I'm gonna initialize my CoreWindow. Okay. That's that one done. Key down parse. So now I need to make a really simple control parsing system. So that if I use like say WASD, D will make my character move right, Valkyrie, and A will make my character run to the left. Yeah, something like that. All while I'm interoperating physics, which is going to be interesting. But first things first, we'll work on the movement mechanic itself, and the physics will kind of work around that. So, how can I do this? I guess, and it's funny because for the game logic itself, it's all in the main page. I should really start considering the structure of the game itself. The game data flow structure is quite important, not just the library, the Vanguard library as well. So, all things considered with this setup, I'll start building appropriate folder structures and data flow structures for the game itself. So yeah, now we're kind of looking at designing the game world. It's quite fun now. Just having a little eyeball here. Okay, that's fine. So I'll create loose classes. I'm not going to make like folders just yet, just so I can see what things are going on with the libraries. It's kind of useful for me right now. So I'm going to add new item, which is going to be a new class. I'll make like a controller parser class or something, so that Visual Studio catch up. I remember back in the day, just as I'm waiting here, like Visual Studio comes in many flavors or many iterations, and my goodness, like I remember I started off in 2012 Express, which is quite good because that was like the community edition of that era. Had all the features that you would need to kind of get up and running and stuff like that. So I was looking at some of my old projects where I used 2019. 2019 was a weird one. My tablet's blocking my screen, so I can barely see what. I think it says class there. Hopefully I clicked the right button. The way my setup is, my tablet's literally blocking a bit of the screen, so I can see what I was doing a little bit. I really look forward to the AI bit for the art assets. I know it's kind of a divided topic. I'm not gonna really get political about it, but for like at least for my placeholder assets, it's just quicker if I use AI search or like an AI model. I'm using Copilot AI search because I'm used to it, just to generate some quick pixel art for me. But when I get down to like building a more releasable build of my game, I will probably facilitate the art assets myself, either from like personally, or I'll outsource it to an artist. Yeah. Here we go. So let's see, class, controller parser. Yes. Add a new class. Excellent. Okay, Visual Studio is just taking a little bit of time. I'll just sit here and wait. Shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Sipping on some tea and water. I quite like diluting caffeine with water, in the sense of like having a glass of water next to my tea or coffee. It's just such a luxurious combo, man. Try it, guys, if you haven't already. Like water with ice. This doesn't, my water don't have ice, but when I have coffee, like a nice coffee from the cafe, just like ice cold glass of water. It's awesome, man. I love coffee. Oh my goodness, Visual Studio, I am waiting. Actually, I'll continue to wait patiently. Hopefully I don't have Visual Studio crash on me. I don't get worried too much when the screen goes grey. Like, Visual Studio is quite built, so I'm pretty sure Visual Studio will pull through. It's just a shame that I get a lot of this hold up, you know. I'm sorry to, you know, guys, kind of like disrupt the workflow, should I say, with a lot of these pauses and hang-ups. So here we are, controller parser. I want to access my members here statically probably, but because we might have, say, multiple controller instances, like player 1, player 2, I want to accommodate for like potential local play. I want to instantiate this class. I don't want to just make it this class in a static context, but some of the members might be static. I'm not too sure. See what's best. Right. Okay, so controller parser. It's quite good if we have a constructor for this. And we're going to take in a key input. Let me get the CoreWindow API, the namespace for our CoreWindow API. Did I find it? Probably on the Windows Foundation. Not too sure. I'm just going to leave it here. Trying to find my class. Oh, it's Windows UI Core. Okay. Probably don't have the AI. I don't have the namespace at the top, but it's fine. I will import it just in case. Actually, not forget it. I'm not doing it there, so I'm not gonna do it yet. Windows UI core window key input. So we're gonna take a key input in. I'm gonna have a method to parse the input. So public void. I'll make a void function. I might even return, but I'll keep this void for now. Key parse. Okay, I need to make sure my OBS is up running. Yes, fine. Key input parse. Okay. Voila, key input parse. Sorry guys. I just drifted away for a second. Where am I? What am I returning here? So every time we click on the keyboard, we want to pass our event argument E. It should be something like keyboard or something, or key, I think. Virtual key, that's the one. E.virtual key. Let me see, and I think it's like value. I can't remember. Oh, that's okay. Oh, maybe that is what I need. Okay. I could just return it. So let's I'm gonna construct my class first. Construct the scope of the main page. My controller parser. Let me see it. What did I name it? Parser. I instantiate this class. Providing no value at default, I don't know about that. Okay, if I pass it to the method, then I don't really need to pass anything in the constructor. So I'm gonna take that out, and I'll pass my overload. Put my overload actually on my key input parse method. Can I go back? Grab my controller parser object. So every time we click, controller parser can access my function. Just waiting for IntelliSense and if it's going to come up. GitHub Copilot walkthrough. So that's like something else. I'm gonna do that. Apparently now Copilot can write code for developers. I'm gonna look into that. I'm quite interested about that. Don't know if I've done this correctly. Oh, I spelled controller wrong. Controller parser. No. What did I spell wrong? Okay. How am I messing this up? Do they have to? Oh, is it not in the global scope? Oh, whoops. Oh, wow. I made a rookie mistake. Sorry, guys. Wow. I shock myself sometimes. I'm actually surprised. Oops. Let's just continue. Okay. CoreWindow. Ooh. I'm going to pass this object. I guess I could pass the CoreWindow, but it's not really necessary. Let me check something. Okay, that's cool. So I pass E, my argument, controller parser, key input, virtual key. Let's see, can I access by index? There's a way to get all the letters, keyboard letters. Oh, I forgot how to do it. Do I have to construct it? I forgot. How did I do this before? Oh yeah, I think I remember. Let me just test it out. If key dot, do a comparison check. Let's see. Are there any static Same thing, it's an enumerated list, so I should be able to access things. Oh my gosh, what is going on, guys? Sorry. Virtual key. There we go, came up. I don't know what IntelliSense wasn't showing up there. So let's say D for like WASD, the WASD. So we're looking for the D letter. So keep things really simple. If key input equals D, key event args, virtual key, I think, like this. If virtual keys. So if we click D, then we want to change like our game state, say, or our character state. This is the controller processor. It might be appropriate to have. I don't want to make another class, but that's me being lazy. I have to. So I need to make another class that stores like game state and like player state. I would like to use a class for that, and I'm kind of trying to adhere to Solid at the same time. Solid principles help me understand that classes should handle just one functionality. So I don't really want to have like player state and agent, like player character agents and NPC states in my controller processor. It doesn't really make sense, even though it's quicker to do it that way. Where am I? Okay, sweet. So I'm gonna go to my Solution Explorer. Probably doesn't take too long. Just collapse on type here, main page. Vanguard. Add new class. Perhaps I'll name my class game states. The game state as a whole. So like game states like level 1, level 2, but also like character states. So I'll just generalize the states. Game states. I started looking at like building a state machine as well. I was considering that. How can I encapsulate levels themselves? That's going to be quite a task. so I can like load things really efficiently. Maybe my command lists might come into play for that, for state machines. Okay. Always forget how to instantiate enums sometimes. Enumerate lists. I have an example because I do forget. Syntax sometimes. Game state. I even have a. Yeah, this is it. So let's copy that. I will literally copy this from Parallax Engine. Keeper. Where is that being used here? It's not being used. Okay. Let's grab this. Cool. I have idle, walk right, walk left, dash right, dash left. Yeah, that's fine. Let me go back to that. And then I need this one as well. So I need the object that kind of encapsulates my enumerated list so that I can basically know the move state of player 1. Is Valkyrie idle? Is she walking right? Is she walking left? This is where enums can come in handy a little bit. Just a little bit. I find enums more human readable, so I like enums for that matter. Public static. I want to access these members from a static context. So I'm going to go back to my controller parser. Oops. Game states. Move. Let's see. Player 1 move state. To assign the value of game states. So if I hold D, then I want her to. Let's say is there run? I'll say I want her to walk to the right like this. So I'll use an enumerated list to help. Okay, cool. So what's next? So this is just simple things. Key input parse. I click D, and this enumerated list is up. This object encapsulating my enumerated list is updated. Okay, cool. Game states is where I was. Page. Okay, that's all well and good. So now I think it's a good time to start for me to start considering the update logic. The update logic. The update logic is kind of like the animated draw. Again, now we're in I'm in my core library scope, and so there's the draw loop and there's also the update loop. The update loop right now is not doing anything particularly. I put one line of code to just check I was invalidating my canvas control. I'm going to leave this here because when this wasn't here before, my canvas wasn't working for the draw loop, so I don't want to risk it. So I'm going to keep that at the very, very top. Even though I can probably just invalidate my canvas control from project scope, I just don't want to take the risk because it wasn't working before. I may need to test this later. Okay, how do I parse for controls? If I'm going to start playing around with the update, again, because I'm in project scope, because I am now in my library scope, I do need to be considerate of the way that data flow is being handled because, again, I can't really modify a published library. So I need to make sure that my update loop is basically quite general purpose. My update loop is quite robust. So it's kind of a similar concept for the animated draw, how I can like update things from the outside in here without tampering with the core logic outside of me publishing this library. So I'm going to go back to my animated update. I'm going to drag my update tab to the left a little bit. And I'm going to start looking at control logic. So, ooh. That's interesting. So there's different ways I can approach the controls. I was considering using the draw loop actually, but I don't want to make my draw loop. I don't make my draw loop too verbose, because then the more verbose my draw loop is, the less general purpose it becomes. Keep things simple. Where's the main page again? So here I'm just passing the input, but I need to actually like process the input. So what's my update? So it's going to be just a simple check, a simple if loop check. I'm going to have, excuse me, I'm going to check my character state. So game states. The game states? It's not coming up. Ah, I see. Because of course. So I need to be careful. Because game states is in project scope. Interesting. Do I need to have the controller logic in the library now? Probably so. Probably I need to put the controller logic in the library scope. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm not taking too much out of the way of customization from potential projects by basically dealing with the control logic. I think as long as my control system is like robust enough. So fair enough. I have to delete the classes I made and put the logic in my library. That's fine. So I've just right-clicked my library. I'm going to add a new class. Before I do this, let me just consider what I'm doing. Sorry guys. Game states, because I need the game states to be visible at library scope. The controller parser, I could pass the values in. Maybe just game states I can put into my game states can come to my library. Like, it's only this, so I'm gonna copy this logic. hit up a new class. New states, CS. I'm gonna put the logic in here. Okay, that's fine. Statically access. Oh, it's not statically access, is it? Okay, hold on. Are enums by default statically accessed? That's interesting. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I probably am wrong. It's this that's statically accessed. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. So now I can evaluate for player 1 move state, but I need to pass the CoreWindow values through to my library scope, which shouldn't be an issue. Go here. So key down pass, controller parser, just pass it like this. So trying to kind of keep things consistent. Oh well, I was gonna say use my like data interface, but man, that is actually a little bit. It's a bit verbose for me to use a data interface for something like this, especially when my members are static. So I'll do Vanguard core. Is it here? Game states. I think the visibility, I need to change the visibility here. Firstly, this one is Vanguard, and to cross this out. New Vanguard core, just here. It has to be a public class. Alright, so now I'm back here. Game states. Player 1, I'm going to update player 1's player 1's move state. Key input bars, get rid of that. Virtual key. Oh, I'm getting it wrong. I get it. Hold on. Let's do it from here. And that's super strange. What's the difference? It's just the namespace that's different. I didn't really change the logic. Oh man, I think the types are wrong. What should we do? Oh yeah, of course. Is it actually because of this? Oh my gosh. Why does the namespace make a difference? Types of this thing. Oh, that's interesting. Something for me to learn actually. Oh, that's really weird. I might be overlooking something. My namespace is making a difference, and it's very interesting. Interesting. I literally can't see that side of my screen. sleep today, aren't I? It's one of these two. Okay. Controller parser, key input parse, game state, which is implicitly is Vanguard Core, because I'm in the Vanguard Core library scope. Probably that's what was going on. Strange, but here's what it is. So now the game state has updated. If I go tomorrow, I can delete this one. It's not update logic. Right. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Now I need to actually pass through the CoreWindow. I need to make sure the CoreWindow is sending a signal to my update logic. It's just a matter of visibility. A simple assignment would do. Find a little space here. Animation numbers. Miscellaneous indexes. Canvas animate control. That's not how you implement that. Oh, I'm getting error there. Not error, I'm getting a warning about null. Potential null. Key event args could be null, which it will be unless I actually assign it. But it should be okay for now. Yes and no. And just in case, I'm gonna like just indicate this is a potential nullable field. Protection level public for my key event args. Go to my main page, let me check something. Oh wait, that's super strange. It's definitely wrong. So now I'm passing my event args to my event argument to my Vanguard core scope, Vanguard core, which I can evaluate in my update loop. So I haven't got like move logic yet, but we're gonna just test it out to make sure everything's working. This is a good opportunity for me right now. It's a good opportunity for me to test my update loop, because I haven't tested my update loop yet properly. So I'm going to run Vanguard for now. This is probably the chillest stream I've done so far. You know, just it's really hot today. Like it's British summertime. I'm in the UK. I don't know what the temps are saying, but it's really warm. I like the warm, don't get me wrong, but it's really humid today. So I think my stream, oxymoronically, my stream reflects the heat. That this is a chill stream. You know what I mean? Oh goodness me. So I'm just literally waiting for UWP to load. It's taking a minute. My build just started, so it will take a minute. Let me check how we do for time. Approaching 1 hour already. Goodness me. Kind of high up there. Let me just go down a little bit. Just my chair. There's enough space. That's a little bit better. Okay, so theoretically, if I hit D on the keyboard, I should trigger a breakpoint. Obviously, there's validation that's needed. What happens when I release the D button? How do I revert back to an idle state and stuff? But at this stage, we just want to activate our breakpoint. We want to trip our breakpoint when I hit the D key on the keyboard. Yeah, I'm just looking at the speed at which my whole setup is running. So it's been about an hour. I did want to get through the art stuff. We'll see if we have time for that. It could be a separate stream. It's just we're moving at quite a pace here where I'm just thinking about separating things. About an hour in now, which is quite good. I'll just wait for Vanguard to load. Yeah, I think I'll wrap up the stream soon. This is a short one. I will adjust the title. So I'm just gonna confirm the controls. The control parsing is up and running. So this is gonna be a really short workshop, just about an hour of getting the control parsing put through together. I respect the fact that the pace of my software, of Visual Studio, my setup, is slow, and the reason it's slow is because I didn't reset my laptop, so I didn't release the resources and the memory and things. Because when I do that, things are really quick. So I want to respect your time. I don't want to take too much of your time with what could be a lot faster because of me. So after we test for this, I think I'll wrap up the stream and get it more prepared in terms of my entire setup. So I think that's kind of cool. And I'll work some more off screen, so it'll be cool because I really want us to go to the more creative side of things as well. It's going to be really fun. This is taking way too long. But hey, good news, we can at least cross this off the list once it's done. Well, not yet. I'm speaking too soon. We may have the parsing inputs down, but we're not yet controlling our player agent. Let's hope I didn't break anything in the draw loop. I think it's a bit bigger. Okay, so we've got our kind of placeholder scene. Let's see if we trip our break. Hey, nothing happened. Okay, let's see what's going on here. First, I want to make sure my update loop's running. There it is. I'm gonna check my game state for my player moveset, or player move state better said. It's my move state. I have to hold D button. But it's still an idle. So game states. Let me see. CoreWindow. Make sure this is working. Vanguard core main key event args. So I'll put break over there. Go to the main to see what's going on there. So this value should update. Make sure I'm actually evaluating this value, because this is what updates. Go to the update loop, head to update. Of course. Type issues. Oh no. Yeah, I'm getting confused with the types now. So main, I really want it to be done on the input processing stage. But this is already updating, so I don't need to fiddle around too much. It's been done here. Let me actually test to make sure this is working. Yeah, so let me undo what I just did there. My update. Control Z. Keep that there. Go to the controller parser. Make sure this is firing. And then go back. Update. Try that again. Okay. So the CoreWindow is working, the API. So I just hit D on the keyboard in case you didn't know, guys. That updated. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna try and invoke my breakpoint, which is elsewhere. Oh goodness me, it worked, but it's on the main page for some reason, even though I got rid of the break. So let me see what's going on. Try again. Okay, that keeps popping up. So let me see. Can I evaluate my variable here? Let's have a look at it. Not sure. So that updates. Hold on. Of course it's not gonna work. I'm not invoking my function. Wow. So I'm going to update my key event args, then I want to evaluate my key event args. Pass the updated value here. Statically accessed, but did I make an instantiation for that? I need to, because I need there might be multiple keys, multiple players. Then it's gonna be like lists and stuff. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna just assume I'm gonna make this in a static context. Let me try something here. Let me see if this works. Okay. All these comments, it's quite hard to just for me to decipher the code. just at a quick glance. Okay. Excellent. So I'm passing my event arcs. Passing my event arcs to my controller person. So update the state, and I am in Vanguard core, so my update loop should pick it up. So let's put a break. Hopefully we pick up on our breakpoint. So we would have the logic here, but I haven't written it yet. So I'm gonna run the program. First, I'm gonna save my project. I'm gonna run my project now. And hopefully we get the breakpoint working. I wasn't invoking any functions. My controller passed a function. That's why nothing happened. Okay, it's gonna take a minute. I'm not gonna keyboard. I've got this like really cool wireless keyboard. It magnetizes. I just wasn't sure if it was magnetizing on the surface that this is on. Okay, so I'm gonna hit build scene. Now I'm gonna hit the D key. And yeah, so what I've just achieved here is when I hit the D button, the D key, I'm so used to using controllers, the D key that is, then I invoke some logic, basically, on the update loop thread. So that's been achieved, that's excellent. It's still too soon for me to cross this, my task here off the list, because we haven't actually implemented, like, if the way I consider full or like satisfactory control while player, we're just parsing the controls. Okay, how am I doing for time? This is gonna be a short one. So just over an hour, guys. I'm gonna cut the stream short a little bit. I'm gonna adjust the title to reflect what I did on the stream. Thanks for tuning in. This is a bit of a shorter one. I will be back tomorrow to do some more streaming. I might be a little bit busy, so it might be a little bit later. But I'm gonna continue streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna work off screen tonight and such, and hopefully we can continue and get some art assets generated. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I hope you all have a great day. I really appreciate all your viewership. So thanks so much, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye.